Good evening everyone, welcome along to the National Hockey Centre here in Glasgow for the fourth game of the day here at the EuroHockey Championship 2 for the home fans and the home support, the big one for them and for some of the Ukrainians that are here. It is Scotland against Ukraine. It is the final game in Pool A. For Scotland, a point will be enough to top the group after France beating Portugal earlier. For Ukraine, well, they can go through with a bit of maths. 3 points. If they can get to 6, then they can get all a little bit interesting. That win for France against Portugal sees Portugal definitely into the relegation playoffs, and Ukraine, well, they need 3 points for starters to try and help their cause to try and break the top two. So let's have a look at the other group as well. This was the games from earlier today. Wales and Russia drew, which cemented both their places in the semi-final of the competition, which meant when the Czech Republic played Switzerland after, they knew that they couldn't get through, but a win in the end over the Swiss, a 2-1 win, was enough for them to get the job done, and 4 points, they will finish third in that group. Well, let's get straight to the sides then, and for Scotland, well, it has been great stuff from them so far. Wins over France and also Portugal. Liam Orton had a terrific game against Portugal last night. Goals at the start and at the very end. It really was a terrific performance. Kenny Bain continued his goal scoring with another goal against Portugal. Alan Forsyth scored a hat-trick as well, and Tommy Alexander's had a terrific tournament so far also, with some great saves, particularly in the first game against the French. For the Ukrainian side, who do still have the chance to get through, they hammered 7 goals by Portugal on game 1, and from penalty corners there are certain players such as Dmitro Lupa who can be threatening. Kovalenko players that can score goals as well. Paziuk also another threatening player from penalty corners. All these players will figure, I'm sure, throughout the course of the 4 quarters. They had a difficult time against France, but they are still just about in the hunt. And the officials there, as you can see on screen, Anton Kochin from Russia and Eduardo Lozana from Spain, who's about to get presented with a little souvenir, his 100th game as an international umpire. So it's great to be here at the National Hockey Centre in Glasgow alongside myself, Callum Patterson. In the commentary box here is Mark Fulton, the president of Kelburn, ex-Scotland player. And before that, we've got a couple of presentations. Now, a big moment here for Scotland's Chris Grassick, captain's armband. 120th international cap, but crucially it's his 100th for Scotland. It's a 20 for GB, and David Forsyth there. Derek Forsyth, rather, I should say, given the little souvenir across. Quick hold of the souvenir and back into line. There's also a good word here for Eduardo Lozana, the Spanish umpire. I think he's a bit surprised about this, actually. And Mark Fulton, great to have you back with us, and a couple of good moments even before the start of the game for a player and an umpire recognition, and a great game in store, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fantastic game for the crowd that's here. It's quite a large crowd. Obviously, with Scotland playing at home, there's a lot of people keen to see them play, and I think the 2 results they've had so far has generated a lot of interest from the local people. So Scotland will be looking to continue that in the game today.
Now it's time for the anthems. Ukraine first up. Both anthems well sung. Big crowd in at the National Hockey Centre here in Glasgow. Great to have your company, and a welcome to those watching on the BBC Sport website for this final game in the pool phase of the EuroHockey Championship 2. And it's not quite, straightforward. Ukraine might have one or two permutations if they can try and steep themselves a lead and some goals. Scotland, though, with their 2 wins. France, the other perceived big team in this group, certainly one of the other favourites. We all expected Scotland and France. Certainly many people thought Scotland and France would be the 2 teams to get out of this pool. France comfortably defeated Ukraine. So Scotland, what's the team talk? What's the chat ahead of the game here? Just to take it steady and try and see if you can pick Ukraine off later on.
Yeah, I think it'll be very much take each game as it comes, and they can't be looking too far ahead to the semi-final. They've got to take care of business against Ukraine here. I think they've got to be patient. I think there's a lot of talented players in the Scotland team who can cause Ukraine problems. However, if Scotland are complacent or relax too much, then equally so there's a number of players in the Ukrainian team who could cause Scotland some problems as well.
It's been a lovely day here in Glasgow, and still plenty of blue skies around into the evening. And the big pep talk from both captains from both sides. Certainly looks like, both sides certainly look up for it for different reasons. Scotland need to try and just get over the line. Ukraine need to see if they can, at least at the start, try and pick up a goal. Try and pick up any advantage they can, and then they might need to go and build on that, score a few more.
I think in the case of the Scotland team, there's a real determination to if you like, finish the job this year. In a number of occasions in the past, they've been very close to qualifying for the A division, and this year amongst the group, there's a real determination to make sure that they not only get to the semi-final, they win the semi-final, but also go on to win the tournament.
Well, there's Scotland going from left to right in the blue and white kit to get us going. I'll reiterate again about the great crowd that is in here. Predominantly Scottish, of course, but there is 1 or 2 Ukrainians around, and a few neutrals as well. Plenty of the Portuguese team that have just played earlier watching on as well.
Scotland having a lot of possession already. As I said at the start there, they'll need to be very patient, take their time, keep nice and high intensity when they're ball pace, but look for gaps that they can then penetrate into the midfield.
Here's William Marshall, leather a ball and did it once or twice to good use yesterday. A comfortable win against the Portuguese. Comfortable in the end. It was a tricky little period in the second quarter where the Portuguese equalised and as ever showed real hard, but they just were picked off in the end as the game went on. Falls here for Jasinski. For Lupa.
Scotland not looking to put a lot of pressure on at the moment. Again, quite happy to let Ukraine distribute.
Odin Kovalenko couldn't quite keep it in, but it does come back for his side. Some patient stuff from both sides. Kovachenko now, 79th cap today for Ukraine.
I think it's like most of the games we've seen in the tournament. Both teams are really keen not to give away the first goal, so they're not really committing too much forward. They're quite happy to let the opposition have the ball in their own half, passing the ball from side to side. They're not really doing much damage.
And the Farouk turned and driving at full pace into the day. Can he work it back? Not quite for Kovalenko. Real burst of pace. Lupa trying to fire, instead goes wide. Diachenko across. Scotland having to defend Ukraine. A real burst and half a good chance there.
A couple of errors there by Scotland. They've played the ball right into the middle of the pitch. Ukraine have taken the ball wide. It's actually quite a good save by Tommy Alexander here. It's very easy for the goalkeeper to leave his post, leave his near post exposed, but he stays strong at his near post and it makes it look quite easy. Scotland may be a little bit nervous. I mean, there is a little bit of pressure and expectation, I suppose, with our previous results. So I think if they can get an early goal, that would really settle the nerves and take them forward into the rest of the game.
Yeah, the tense game against France, Tommy Alexander, a hero in goals, a penalty save, and also some wonderful other saves during the course of the game. But Scotland were clinical front that evening, being an Alan Forsyth scoring. And as we mentioned, right, the comfortable win against Portugal last night.
I think when you have forwards of the capabilities of Alan Forsyth and Kenny Bain, then if you can keep the score against you as few as possible, then you always get chances of winning the game.
The winners of this group will play Russia. Across from Povachenko.
And Scotland very deep, everyone in their own half. They were pushing maybe one or two players just a little bit higher.
Povachenko forward once more. Bodin Kovalenko.
I think the idea behind Scotland sitting quite deep is that they don't feel that Ukraine are very good at distributing the ball from the back, so that's why they're quite happy to let them try and play the ball into the midfield, and then as soon as it gets in there, they'll try and capitalise on any mistake.
Not quite falling kindly for Fraser. Just flicked off his boot. So yeah, returns to Ukraine. Well, both these sides are fairly close together in the world rankings. Scotland 23rd, Ukraine 25th. Scotland have had some rise with running the World League to the semi-finals. It's caught everyone by surprise in the hockey world, but a great year. They were 28th this time last year when they were kicking off World League 1 at the start of September, so they have had a sensational 11-12 months. Comes down here for Jasinski once more, trying to find Povachenko. Didn't quite happen. Early rest for Alan Forsyth as Lee Morton goes on. Started off a great game for Morton yesterday, 30 seconds in scoring, and then finishing the game off in the last minute with another goal.
You'll see lots of quick rotations, players going on and off the pitch at every opportunity. With it being such a high intensity game, players are maybe on the pitch for 6 or 7 minutes at 100%, and then they're coming off to get a breather.
One back there, Lee Morton, though not quite, just a little bit slack the pass from Dimitri Lupa. When it comes back to him. Two at the back there, Lupa and Paziuk, the two real dangers if they do get penalty corners. Ukraine scored both of them from those sorts of situations in the opening two games.
That is really one of the dangers at this level, is that, you know, there can be a lot of hockey played in the middle of the pitch, and very quickly if you win a short corner, then you can either score or concede depending on what happens.
Scotland look to bounce on quickly here. Nice play from Cosgrove initially. Morton in there on the edge of the D, but Ukraine win it back.
Actually quite a good position there for Lee Morton. Maybe feel he should have done better if he scored a few goals from that range in his time.
Bain, that was exquisite. Wonderful from Riddle, trying to link it back up, way by the baseline. Nothing coming from it from a Scottish perspective. Ukraine defend that reasonably well.
You can see the benefit there from David Forsyth playing the ball with high intensity. Makes it really easy for Kenny Bain there just to deflect it down the line. If you can get the ball moving at that pace, then it makes it much easier for the people arriving onto the ball.
Ball falls down here though for Ukraine and for Povachenko. Space closing down quickly. Rattled off Cosgrove.
Scotland forcing Ukraine back, but I think they'll be quite happy to keep possession. Again, they'll be looking for a gap to try and get the ball into the D.
Kosciuszko trying it. Rikoshin around again. Parks trying to nudge it. Pavlichenko thought. And it is going to be a Ukrainian ball. Just the routine here. Yudzinski was dancing around. Paziuken. No one claiming it, no one touching it in yellow.
Once or twice Scotland now guilty of just giving the ball away cheaply in their own D. Just got to take a little bit more care there.
Came off a Scottish sticks in the long corner. And now Lupat. Dragged in again. Is it going to fall? Almost fell kindly for Pavlichenko. A bit of a swipe and advantage for Scotland. Kenny Bain down the channel. Cosgrove tried to keep it in.
Michael Bremner probably counted himself lucky there. The Ukrainian forward was certainly having a full swing at that, but he kept his composure, kept his eye on the ball and cleared the danger.
Jamie Wong to McIntyre. Got up at 88 internationally for McIntyre. 5 of them with GB.
Certainly lots of experience in the Scotland team, as well as obviously Chris Grassick getting his 100th Scotland cap tonight. There's several others with vast experience, whether it's at GB or Scotland level or playing at high level in European leagues, so that should stand them in good stead as they go through the game and also the rest of the tournament.
Wong once more, here is Grassick. So good to see him back. He had injury issues last year. A bit of a coming together, but Alan Forsyth now for Bain, most experienced in the team. Cap 158 today. Middle and now ball trying to get flung in towards Morton. Free hit right on the edge of the D. Wong in space. Into the circle. Atkins doing well to try and wrestle and wriggle his way in.
He came very strong there in their the circle defence, just staying strong, making sure they've got a stick on the ground and just taking the ball quite cleanly.
Forward from David Forsyth.
Scotland quite fluid in their movement. What I noticed in the game last night was, players are quite happy to play in a number of positions. You'll see at the moment Gordon McIntyre is at centre back, probably not his normal position. At the same time, you might find that David Forsyth, certainly in yesterday's game, I did see him at left wing, which is definitely not his normal position. So they're quite happy to rotate and stay in position.
Morton wriggling through, penalty corner. Wide protest from Ukraine. That decision stands.
Looks like quite a cheap corner, but Lee Morton does have fantastic individual skill there. All he's really done is move the ball from side to side, and the Ukrainian defenders just dived in there. But it's a good opportunity for Scotland here. Not long till quarter time.
So first penalty corner of the game. Duncan Riddle heading across to inject. Kenny Bain around, Alan Forsyth. Kenny Bain. Alan Forsyth tried to wriggle away and that comes to an end. Didn't seem quite as what they planned there, Scotland. It was a little loose, but Ukraine can break. Kovalenko. Atkins back. Just to try and disrupt things. Supporting Shevchuk. Being shifted out to the corner. Shevchuk tried to get the ball away to Gornier, but it didn't happen. Morton now can go on one of his long runs, but that is cut short. And back again it comes for Kosciuszko. So ball that trickles away by everyone in the D.
I think with the penalty corner, just the timing was a little bit off. But the ball was injected quite well. Good stop, but maybe the pass to Kenny was a little bit slow. He looked a bit reluctant to play the ball, and it kind of petered out there to nothing.
Lovely stuff. Anderson down that side, picking up Alan Forsyth. And away off it goes, and it is a turnover of possession. 2.5 minutes to the end of the first quarter.
I think again it's important Scotland don't get frustrated here. They're having quite a lot of possession, maybe not capitalising on it, but it's important that they stay patient.
Run stopped in his tracks. Kovalenko. Ukrainian free hit. Here's Diachuk. Lupa for Paziuk.
In Scotland, very, very deep here.
Come back here, the side in yellow. On the Farouk. Podgorny. Paziuk. Lupa switching it. Down for Kovalenko. Atkins trying to keep it down in that corner. Stays with Ukraine. Moros.
Ukraine keeping the ball quite nicely here, but not really hurting Scotland too much. You know, they're making passes from side to side. They've gone down the right, down the left. But Scotland are quite strong in their defence. A lot of communication from Tommy Alexander at the back. He's clearly organising the team, and they seem quite comfortable in what they're doing just now.
Down it goes from Lupa. Things are just shadowed, but comes back again with Ukraine. Clock ticking down to the end of the quarter. Both sides will be fairly comfortable if it stayed like this, but never know, there might be one chance here for Ukraine.
Be a good time to score for any of the teams at the moment.
Kovalenko. Slips has it though. 20 seconds, maybe 1:40 into the day. That's all it needs. Then search its way through for Diachenko. Green, wonderful running on the Farouk, but run out of road. And despite the long corner, time will end for the quarter. And that'll do. No goals in the first quarter here in Glasgow. In the final game of Pool A, it would suit Scotland just fine if it stayed like this. And it is 0-0. Couple of moments then from the first quarter we can have a little look at. And Ukraine had a good start, a fiery start to the game.
Yeah, I think as I said at the time, Scotland were a little bit nervous. They maybe kept turning the ball over unnecessarily, but you know that's the benefit of a good goalkeeper there. Tommy Alexander's just stood strong and made an easy save there.
This was a Scotland penalty corner, which not quite maybe as planned.
Yeah, I think it was the pass there from the stopper, David Forsyth, was just a little bit behind Kenny Bain that is, and he just struggled to get any power in the shot.
So 0-0 then at the moment. As I say, for Scotland this would do just fine because they would go top of the group with 7 points. Another pool, Wales and Russia going through. Wales top with 7 points. Wales side that were promoted from the third tier to the second tier for this competition. But also progressed Scotland into a decent run at World League, not quite reaching the semi-finals, but out of World League 1 into World League 2. So them top in the group is a pretty decent performance because on paper they are the second lowest ranked side here at 32nd, but certainly have played well over the last 12 months or so. So they've topped the group. Russia second in that pool B, so the winners of this group will play Russia. Wales will play the runners up, so it could be Scotland, it could be France, we shall see. Could still be Ukraine all in the mix, but it is all rather tight, and if Ukraine start getting a goal or maybe a bit of confidence, then we'll need to get the abacus out to work everything out for you.
I think hopefully the kind of pre-match nerves are now gone and we can start to see a bit more attacking hockey. Both teams playing pretty cagey in the first half there, so certainly Ukraine will have to take some more risks as the game goes on if they want to make the semi-finals.
Scotland then with the possession at the start of the second quarter, and Kennybean looking to make a quick run to take on Paziuk. A bit frustrated with the end product there. Paziuk marshalling well.
I think he just got the ball caught under his feet there. He was looking to cross the ball on his reverse stick. I'm sure there'd been players diving in for a deflection, but he just kind of lost control of it. So looks like both teams are setting up fairly similarly. Again, Scotland a little bit higher, but still quite happy to let Ukraine have the ball.
Maybe you've jinxed it a little bit, commentators curse, looking for something a bit more expansive this quarter.
I think the game definitely needs a goal, just to open it up a little bit.
Dimitro Lupa runs into brick wall. Nicky Parks.
It's just another example there of why Scotland are setting up the way they are. So they're quite happy for Ukrainian defenders to come up with the ball, and at the end there he's just passed it off the side of the pitch, giving the possession back to Scotland.
Marshall. Back to Wong. Here comes Bremner.
Lots of movement in the midfield for Scotland and in the forwards, but there's not really made any connections going forward yet. Maybe need to look forward a wee bit earlier, just try and make that connection so you can make the forward pass.
Of a little pirouette. Anderson continues to run forward, but comes back for Scotland. Marshall now smashing it off the Ukrainian captain Alexander Diachenko. Here he is with possession. Bounces through here kindly for Rona Farouk. Lovely skills. Lovely.
Yeah, Marshall a little guilty there of forcing the ball perhaps. Looking, they did keep possession for a long time without really looking like they were going to penetrate. He's clearly felt the urge to try and make that pass, but maybe it wasn't the best time.
Looking forward trying to refine Diachenko. Still with side in yellow. Diachenko trying to thread it through the little gap which Morton was closing down. On the Farouk. Again involved down there. It's all very tight. Bobbled up but illegally. So no chance for Polishuk to get a shot away.
Yeah, the ball lifted dangerously into D there. It's always going to be blown up for a foul. The ball can be lifted. However, if there's any danger to any of the players, then it's always going to be blown up as a foul there.
Forward comes Alan Forsyth, Kenny Bain driving at full pelt. Lee Morton was racing in.
I think that's what Scotland are capable of when these three combine. You've got Alan Forsyth passing the ball to Kenny Bain, a nice early ball across, and Lee Morton really committing himself, diving across, and I mean he's only missed that by a matter of inches.
And a terrific tournament so far, Lee Morton. Moving away to Redden from Kelburn for the new season. Cap number 30 for the 22-year-old. Might wriggle through for Kalinchuk. This was taken a little wide. Supporting Pidgornier. Not slip from Parks. Jamie Wong there collects. Bain. Bounced off the foot of Duncan Riddle.
Then go back to Lee Morton there. He's certainly probably been the most dangerous player in the Scottish League for a number of years, and certainly moving to Redden will hopefully push on his development. I know he's keen to try and break into the GB setup, so that'll give him a good opportunity.
One back and Kenny Bain in space. Pragmatic. Byers on the floor in the heaps more than Kovalenko. Quickly back up there. Took a sore one.
Yeah, he's taking that in the knee.
Grasic supporting McIntyre. Cosgrove wriggling. Frustrating. Ukraine loading lots of bodies around there.
Scotland just getting bogged down a little bit. I think we've seen from the last chance from Morton, when Scotland move the ball quickly, then they can get the ball around the Ukrainian defence quite easily. It's when they try and maybe hold on to it that little bit extra second, then Ukraine are quite happy to just set up and defend their circle.
Marshall, wonderful ball for Riddle. Up to Bain. Silky one touch stuff, not quite finding Cosgrove. Bain trying to pinch it if he can of Paziuk. Oh, again rather tight. Lots of bodies of both sides in that corner.
Kenny being a very instinctive forward, kind of plays what he sees a lot of the time, and sometimes other people need to catch up a little bit quicker than they would like, but he can be very effective in and around the circle.
Ukrainian serves for Sevchuk, did well to find Moroz. Chance here, Podgorny to fly in, but rattle around, getting bounced up off a Ukrainian leg. Give it the arm right to Scotland.
Again, ball lifted into a crowd of players there.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I think Nicky Parks took 3 or 4 hits in the game the other night, and that's another one to add to his collection of bruises.
Morton. Wasn't near Cosgrove. Back with Diachenko.
Again, just a bit more care on the pass there, and Scotland are in a strong position. It's these small details at the moment that are just not quite clicking for them.
Diachuk looking for a bit of help, only came into the path of McIntyre.
McIntyre just uses the experience there, let the Ukrainian player pick up the ball. As soon as he goes to turn, he's just stepped in and taken the ball.
Anderson. Byers and Grasic back to the heart of the defence. Now here's Marshall. One of those long raking passes, just about controlled by Byers. Took it just about all his strength. David Forsyth. Cap 57 for David Forsyth. Both Forsyths were racking up the caps, and Coach Forsyth racking up the managerial head coach caps, you could say.
Yeah, I'm sure it's quite a happy family when the team wins, but I'm not sure how it will be if the team doesn't win.
It doesn't sound like a very good dinner table if that happens. Six minutes just over to half time, still goalless here, and not too many threatening chances for either side, particularly in the second quarter, but generally throughout the match so far. Rather cagey. So for Scotland the point would do. Ukraine need a win and then probably some goals, a few.
Both teams have been defending fairly well, they're quite comfortable in and around their own circle at the moment. It really needs maybe a quick bit of play or an individual bit of brilliance just to break the deadlock here. Both teams working very hard though, you can see that when the players are coming on and off.
Yeah, when we say goals, we're saying we need a 3 goal clear cushion for the goal difference to filter through, so it's one thing winning a game, and then you need to think about goals, so it is a tough task for the Ukrainians, but they're still in this at the moment. And Tim Atkins doing really well, but they'll come back with Ukraine. Diachenko, and forward it goes on the Farouk. Going all the way himself on the Farouk. And it's going to just dribble by little nick and save off the keeper. Card going to come out for a green card here for Scotland, and that will be a couple of minutes down to 10, and Anderson there just taking a little pew.
Yeah, I think he just tried to steal the ball and just mistimed it slightly. Green card, so he'll be off the pitch for 2 minutes. Hopefully we'll see Ukraine maybe trying to be a bit more adventurous here.
And very questionably will try to hammer it. Good if he hit right in the edge of the D, and they've taken it quickly. Straight in, it's saved again. And Scotland will get it back. And well, good thinking, because there was a space there. Kosciuszko.
Yeah, he's moved it quickly. Scotland not quite set up. He's got himself in a good position. A kind of risky shot, but again, Tommy Alexander making that look pretty routine.
Fairly new into the side there in terms of caps of late, into number 11 now tonight, playing for Reading. And now here's Alan Forsyth, spin turn, and away it goes in a blink of an eye. Scotland up the other end, nearly scoring.
I think Alexander had a lot of experience in the English leagues before he got involved in the set-up in the last 12 months. He's certainly very, very confident in his ability, and that makes a big difference when you're playing in goals. Moves across the goal very well, so he makes what are probably quite difficult saves to the average person look very easy.
Alan Forsyth looking to turn again a little bit strong there. Paziuk collects.
In Scotland, not quite making the connections in the final third. You know, a few times they've been in and around the D, and they've just made a kind of hopeful ball into the circle. Just going to try and get on the same wavelength and make the passes a little bit better. In Scotland, just looking to see out the green card, so not in a hurry to put much pressure on Ukraine at the moment.
Is there a question Ukraine aren't really putting enough pressure on in this phase?
I think with there being a green card, it's 2 minutes can go by very quickly. I mean, there's Russell Anderson back on already, and what they don't want to do is overcommit, particularly when you've got someone like Kenny Bain who's quite fast on the ball. If you overcommit, he can quite quickly sprint 50 metres and put the ball in the top corner. I think Ukraine are very much quite keen to see this out to half time, and then, as I say, in the second half they really have to make a go for it if they want to make the semi-finals.
Getting into the last couple of minutes of this quarter, and they have a long corner. Kyle Jasinski. Lupa. Kovalenko driven in, and the captain at the back post, Alexander Dayachenko. Can you believe it?
He can't believe it. Cross there. I think you know, a key lesson for any young player watching this: if you're standing at that back post, you need to get your stick on the ground. If his stick's on the ground there, he doesn't have to do anything. It just deflects off his stick and goes into the goal.
That's an opportunity missed for Ukraine.
These are the chances they've got to be taking. If Ukraine were to score, certainly I'd imagine Scotland will start to get a little bit more nervous. Crowd is a little bit quiet at the moment.
Alan Forsyth. Did it come off a bit of body? No, well, it might have done, but it was a Scottish bit of body off Forsyth's foot, I think.
Again, strong defence there by the Ukrainian player. You know, Alan Forsyth's come along the baseline there. He really needs to try and lift that, make it difficult for the defender. If you're going to go flat along the baseline, then either the defender who's defending or the goalkeeper might come out and rush you, so he's going to take the ball as well. So you've really got to be trying to lift the ball there, which normally Alan is quite good at.
Lupa for Dayachenko. Final few seconds. Paziuk. One final fling forward. And that'll do. Doesn't come to anything for Ollie Polishuk. And that is half time in this game in Pool A. And as it stands, Scotland will be topping the group if it were to stay like this. It is 0-0 against this Ukraine side. And it has been a fairly tippy-toey sort of game.
Yeah, both sides very non-committal in attack. They're they're not committing a lot of players forward. They're clearly trying their hardest not to lose any goals. I think obviously in Ukraine's case they need to really be pushing on to try and get the 3 goals they need to get to the semi-final. I think in Scotland's case, I think 0-0 is a little bit too close for comfort, and they'd certainly like a couple of goals just to settle the nerves and top the group in style.
Let's have a look at some of the best of the action from this first couple of quarters, and it was Ukraine that got off to a decent start.
Yeah, I mean, a shot here, it's quite a tight angle, so you would expect a goalkeeper of Tommy Alexander standard to save that, and as I said at the time, he's kept strong at his near post. Opportunity here from the corner, and at this level you've got to be taking your chances. Even there, it's a bit of a breakdown, and you've not even got in on the rebound either, so just got to be more clinical in these areas. This was the real chance, I felt. Alan Forsyth getting the ball to Kenny Bain on the baseline. Nice early ball. Lee Morton is clearly committed to the dive, and he's just missed that by a couple of inches. Again, quick play from the Ukrainian forward here, driving into the Scotland not set up. Bit of a wristy shot, and again Alexander is equal to the task. Alan Forsyth strong on his reverse stick. I think he'd back himself most of the time to score that, but the goalkeeper's obviously aware of that. He's come out quickly, rushed him, and got the block. This is the last chance for Ukraine. Again, ball in the reverse stick, and the man at the back post there has really got to have a stick on the ground. If he has a stick on the ground, then it's 1-0 to Ukraine.
The captain Donyachenko could have been a big opportunity. As it stands, Ukraine will be facing the relegation games. Scotland into the semi-final, but still 2 quarters to play. We'll be back in a few minutes' time ahead of the third quarter, but at half-time it's Scotland 0, Ukraine 0. Welcome back then for this EuroHockey Championship 2 game, all set to go for this third quarter between Scotland and Ukraine. It is 0-0. Not too much drama so far, but a little bit of drama from the umpires. Anton Kohin of Russia taking a bit of an injury, so being replaced by the reserve umpire Joachim Wimmer of Switzerland. So drama before the third quarter gets underway, but hopefully everything is alright with the Russian umpire, as we are looking for a goal here. Mark Fulton, president of Kilburn, former Scotland player, alongside himself Callum Patterson in the commentary box here. It's great to have your company wherever you're watching. If you're joining us on the BBC Sport website, welcome to you. Mark, do you think we're going to get something a bit more livelier in this second period, this third quarter?
I certainly hope so. I think both teams were pretty promptly out the dressing room, so I think the message from both coaching staff groups would have been short and sweet, that there needs to be an improvement from both sides, particularly in their attacking play. Both teams have been very good between the 23 metre lines, but when they get into the attacking areas, they've been a little short, so they'll be looking to tighten that up.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of something we noted, that the players are out with a good 3 minutes or so to go, so not much to say at the team talks. It's not been an awful lot to say about the contest so far, but who knows what might happen in this third quarter.
I certainly think from the Ukrainian point of view, they can't. There's not very many ways to say it. They need to win and they need to score goals. So they need to be far more aggressive in their play when they're going forward, and defensively, trying to win the ball off of Scotland higher up the pitch, moving the ball faster with a higher ball pace to try and break through Scotland's line. Scotland are quite comfortable, as you can see just now, just sitting quite compact in the midfield. At the back, they're man to man at the back. Everyone's got their man, and they're quite happy for Ukraine just to pass the ball off the pitch as they've done now. I think that's the third or fourth time.
There's Bremner for Scotland, space for Kenny Bain in towards Alpha side, but you can hear the cheer from the crowd, but it rattled off the defender of Pasiuk.
Yeah, unfortunately not a goal. If the ball is played by an attacker in the circle, then by a defender, it would be a goal, but Kenny Bain's pass or shot there was from outside, so no goal unfortunately.
Drazic trying to help it in, kicked away by the keeper Miroslav Horry.
Always get very good close control, Chris Grasic. Very good with the 3D skills along the baseline there.
Long corner quickly to Bremner. Anderson. It's a Ukrainian ball. Just a reminder, just joined us. A point would be enough for Scotland to top the group. Ukraine, they need to win, and win by 3 clear goals. With a goal difference, that would get them through.
I think Scotland just need to be careful they don't relax too much. They've obviously got a little bit of a cushion there, but if Ukraine were to score, that would change quite quickly.
Nice this from Ukraine, and they have scored. Teed up for Ollie Polishuk. Great running from Andrei Koshelenko, and there is a span in the works.
Yeah, it's the goal we've been waiting for. Hopefully that will spark the game into life. Some great skill there. I think Scotland will be disappointed. He's kind of walked in towards the top D. I think it's Bremner there left his man, and it's quite difficult for the goalkeeper from that range, but a very smart finish. I think Scotland will be disappointed. There was no pressure on the ball carrier coming into the top D there, and it's a bit of a free shot there as well. It's just gone through Tommy Alexander a little bit. I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that.
So that is quieting down the home crowd. It is the perfect start to this third quarter for Ukraine. Ollie Polishuk has scored on the opening day against Portugal in the 7-2 win. And in his 65th cap, the experienced head, 32 years of age, a big goal. They need to win by 3 clear to qualify.
I think what we might see for the rest of this quarter, though, is Ukraine will start to get deeper and deeper. I think they'll feel 1-0 going into the final quarter is quite a strong position for them, and maybe commit a bit more in the fourth quarter. I think for Scotland, they've really got to be more aggressive in their press, and you can see that already from Lee Morton. He's a lot higher than he has been previously. I think Ukraine will take a lot of confidence from that as well. They were in not a very advanced position there, but they've managed to work the ball into the D and get a good shot at goal, which resulted in the goal.
Scotland looking to just settle down and try and work something from deep. Jamie Wong.
This will be where you'll be looking for your more experienced players to come into play. Just calm the side down a little bit.
Byers going to get this one back here. Trickling around Morton. It's dancing feet time, no obstruction, so away it goes. That wasn't the best goalkeeping ever from Miroslav Hordy.
Yeah, it's a bit of an old school goalkeeping there. He's just tried to clear the ball as effectively as he can, but it's gone straight to Morton, but he just couldn't get the ball under control.
Just a little shuffle away, didn't really work brilliantly, but they survived Ukraine there. I've talked about before, that time after scoring it is probably the most crucial time to try and not concede. The cliche of sorts in a lot of sports, but you are vulnerable after you score.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the goalkeeper, there's not really inspiring confidence in his defence, and what they'd be looking for him to do there is plant his left foot and just clear that straight out the D. Nearly gave away an easy shot there for Lee Morton. This is where Scotland can be effective. Ukraine are out of position.
Here's Byers. Parks in the D, twisting the turn. Duncan Riddle with the initial effort, didn't quite fall down for Parks, it just trickles and cleared away.
That's where Scotland can really capitalise. When Ukraine turn the ball over, they have a lot of pace in attack. If they can move the ball quickly, they'll be able to get a lot more opportunities within the D.
Marshall. Guess what's coming next? A hammer from Willie Marshall.
I think it is an effective ploy. I mean, Marshall can play the ball with a tremendous amount of pace, however it's going straight down the middle. Ukraine are well set there, they've got to be looking wider as he has done there.
Cosgrove out wide. Comes back to the long corner. Marshall for Parks. Anderson back it goes. Just under 8 minutes left in this third quarter. And opening goal in this quarter coming from Ollie Polashuk in the 34th minute. Anderson. Blocked by Kovalenko.
Could do well with Anderson to win the ball back. A cheap turnover it could have been, but he's worked very hard there and just managed to retain possession.
Marshall spotted a bit of space through the middle, couldn't quite find Cosgrove. That was the first Scotland player in the line.
It is a good ball by Marshall, they just need to anticipate a little bit better. Here's the chance earlier for Duncan Riddle, I think it is.
Yeah.
Again, that came about by Scotland putting pressure on Ukraine and just stealing the ball higher up the pitch and allowing them to break at pace. I think that's something they can use far more effectively as the game goes on.
Kenny Bain taking a slip off the ball. Bit miscontrol from Bremner, but Scotland have it fortuitous, and quickly on with McIntyre and now Riddle. Fraser. McIntyre lost out. He sent, if Scotland were to score, it would probably kill stone dead the comeback of any sorts, because then they're back to square one again. I know it is possible, but it would take a lot for Ukraine to then go and score another 3 goals.
Yeah, and I think that's what Scotland have to keep in their mind. They are still very much in the ascendancy here. The key is not to panic. They've got a number of attacking options. that can score goals, and if they can just get one of them in the D on the ball, then I'm sure they would take the chance. But while it's 1-0, Ukraine are very much still in this game.
Ball coming in towards the D. It's ricocheting around. And there'll be the ball though, but for Scotland from the long corner.
I think some of the players stopped there for a short corner, possibly. It might have come off a Ukrainian foot, but the umpire playing advantage. Cammy Fraser with the shot, but good save by the goalie.
Forsyth, that goes to no one. Bit frustrated the Scotland side here. Here for Derek Forsyth, he usually is pranced around, is very much sat to his seat at the moment.
He is normally fairly animated.
Diachuk for Ukraine. And from Kovalenko, attempted to try and get it in anyway. Didn't work out. That was a bit rushed from Scotland. Back it goes with Diachenko.
Not a lot of imagination in the Ukrainians' play, but it's highly effective.
Shook off Marshall.
They're just passing the ball stick to stick, getting into strong positions, and then making the correct decision. Very simple game when you play it effectively.
Bubbling around in the knee, and that could have went anywhere.
Again, it's just nice skills there. He's just taking the ball to his left-hand side. Nice little lift over the defensive player, and again, unfortunate. It's a narrow angle, so again, you wouldn't expect Alexander to get beat from that distance, but it is difficult.
Scotland turning with Byers. Bain, little lay back, looking for Forsyth. Bain was looking for it. The free hit, he has it. Towards Morton. Morton, the bounce off Morton's leg, it did. Well, certainly a few protests going on. Umpire is going to have a chat with Kenny Bain, the Spanish umpire, Eduardo Lozana.
I think Scotland looking for a short corner there, but I think it's a little bit hopeful. I think the Ukrainian defender did very well there. I think Bain has to be careful. Any more reactions to that, he'll probably find himself sitting down.
Well, Derek Forsyth got off his seat very quickly, but straight back down. Stolen back by Lee Morton. Needing a bit of help. It was poor play from Lupa.
As you say, Derek Forsyth looking very reserved. He normally is, prowling the touchline.
Bounced up and hit Lee Morton.
But Scotland certainly putting a lot more pressure on Ukraine higher up the pitch here. They're really looking to steal the ball in the Ukrainian 23, looking for opportunities to get the ball into the D quickly.
Ricochet of David Forsyth and on the Farouk, just losing out though. Back there was Anderson. Final 3 minutes of this third quarter.
Good play there by Anderson. Quite an unsung hero in the squad. Just goes about his business, reads the game very well. He spotted the danger there and just tidied up there.
Lovely ball for Morton. Parks taking his time. Ball for Morton. Here's Wong on the overlap. And looking for teammate in Byers, but Ukraine get it in now. Maybe their turn on the Farouk. Kosciuszko making the run here for Ukraine. Big chance for number 2. A bit of a, was it a near swipe? A dangerous there slightly. Well, it's certainly going back for Scotland, and well, that was a big chance in the break. Number 2 before the end of the third quarter. That would have made things tasty.
I think that's the danger for Scotland as they try and get this goal back. If they overcommit, Ukraine are more than capable of breaking, and quite unlucky there, but good strong defence again from Anderson, just sensing the danger, covering his man, and being very effective in his defensive work there. Lee Morton seems to have been finding himself more on the ball in the last 5 minutes. Scotland can get himself, Chris Grassick, Alan Forsyth, Kenny Bain, these kind of players on the ball more often, then they've got a good chance of getting back into this game.
David Forsyth down there, but that's disrupted by Paziuk. Moroz won't find teammate in Koshalenko.
In Ukraine just setting off now, less than a minute till the break, so they're quite happy just to let Scotland have the ball. Scotland would love to score just before the break now.
David Forsyth. Oh, Atkins. Almost pinched off him.
I'm sure he knew what he was doing.
Polishuk, but unlucky there. Knocked him back. Final 15 seconds. Bremner helped on its way by Byers, but not finding a couple of them in there, including Fraser. And that's the end of the third quarter. And well, Ukraine have the lead, but it won't be enough as it stands to get them through to the next phase. Scotland have to think about the fact that they are behind. It should mean that they would be second in the group. So plenty to play for. Scotland, a draw is enough for them to win the group. This is fine for them for second place. Ukraine need a couple more goals. Need to win by a clear margin of 3 goals to qualify with France. Let's have a look then at the Ukraine goal. And it came from nothing really, but a couple of little passes and it worked out well for them.
Not in a particularly dangerous position there, but he's just created a lot of space for himself. Scotland will be disappointed. They didn't really step out to the man advancing into the D. He's then laid the ball off, and it's a very smart finish from a very close range. It's very difficult for Alexander from that range, but I think he'll feel he maybe could have done a little bit better.
Ole Polishuk with that goal. And Scotland 0, Ukraine 1 is how things are. And we did talk about during that quarter, well, Scotland just go and get themselves a goal, and that kills the Ukraine threat, also puts them back on top of the group. But they do have to bear in mind that a second goal for Ukraine, and that is a game changer, because if Ukraine score a third after that, Scotland are out.
Yeah, I think it's something. It's going to be a difficult fourth quarter here for Scotland, but I think that ideally they'd like to top the group. I think they'd like to win the game, because in tournament hockey it's all about building momentum. They've done well in the past 2 games, 2 fantastic results. What they don't really want now is a negative result, especially heading into a rest day and then into a semi-final. I think hopefully we can come out in the final 15 minutes here, have a strong performance, and hopefully see some goals, which would take them forward into the semi-final as group winners.
I guess if you're Ukraine, if you said before the game, 1-0 up with 15 minutes to play, they would probably take your armour for that.
Yeah, I think they were delighted with how they've played so far. I mean, the effective players from Scotland, they've kind of nullified them. They've been very strong in their defence. Scotland, they've had a lot of play, but without creating very many clear-cut chances. And as you say, if they were given 1-0 with 15 minutes to go, I think they'd be pretty chuffed with themselves.
Just shows how surprising the margin of defeat was. They lost to France yesterday. Got this chance and it's wriggled away off Duncan Riddle.
I think that was quite a surprise result. They've always been quite a competitive team, Ukraine, over the years, so to see them get beat by that margin was a bit of a shock.
Koshalenko flung it wide for Diachuk. Picked back up by Kovalenko.
I think we mentioned throughout the tournament now that all the teams here are highly competitive in their own environment, and with the teams very close.
Lupin. Away. The ball comes though. Parks has lost it in his tracks. Jasinski. Crane's flooding forwards. And away it goes from Moroz's effort, but it is a penalty corner to Ukraine.
Scotland a little bit of the architects of their own downfall there. They've got the ball. Nicky Parks has worked really hard. Unfortunately, he turned the ball over. And again, it's a kind of hopeful ball from Ukraine. Alexander just lifting the ball there in his clearance, and unfortunately, in the umpire's eyes, it was dangerous. and a penalty corner has been awarded to Ukraine. Could be dangerous for Scotland. They've been quite effective from penalty corners.
Absolutely. Dmitry Lupa, one to watch. Vyacheslav Pazayuk as well. Pazayuk with the number 3, Lupa with the 7. Also there's Andrei Koshelenko. There's Dyachenko to inject. It's Pazayuk, it's saved. Anyone in the follow-up, it was trying to get followed up, was Ollie Polishuk to try and get his second. And away it goes, the big roar from the Scottish crowd.
It's a very good save from Tommy Alexander there. Strong glove hand. Could be a turning point in the game. If Ukraine score from that, then it's 2-0 and they're really in the ascendancy. But that's a big save for his team.
Koshelenko space, big amount of space for Jasinski. Oh, and just by and head in the hands of Ollie Polishuk. Thought he just squeezed it in.
Yeah, that was certainly a little opportunity there. It's almost caught Alexander unawares there, but thankfully, from his point of view, it didn't go in. I think it'll be interesting to see if Ukraine just change their tactics a little bit here. As you say, they've got to win by 3 goals, so they do have to start to push a little bit more.
Alan Forsyth, Grasic. Goodness me, another flashing ball across. Not quite falling for Cosgrove.
Yeah, that's 3 of the players I identified there. Alan Forsyth passed the ball to Chris Grasic. Kenny Bain with the pass across first time, and it was just unfortunate that the final touch couldn't be made there. Again, if Scotland can get these players on the ball, then that'll give them a good chance.
Marshall away with it, Bain. Alan Forsyth just behind everyone this time.
I think Scotland guilty there of older players going in towards the goal. We can maybe look for one of their players just to hang out a little bit. That's who Alan Forsyth was looking for there. Just in the space at the top of the D where they maybe have a free shot. Scotland players just a little bit keen to get in for a deflection.
Kovalenko down the left side once more, but Scotland have it.
As I was saying, I think Ukraine will have to open up a little bit, so that might actually play into Scotland's hands. There may be a bit more space for Scotland to play as well, with Ukraine having to press a little bit higher to try and score 2 more goals.
Long too much on that for Ben Cosgrove to try and chase.
I think that sums up Scotland's attacking play so far. Just little details, just the pass being a little bit too far, maybe the lead not being far enough, and just missing small connections.
Lupa. Ona Farouk. Morton for company. Dyachenko. Back with Lupa. Lobbed in and off Atkins.
I think the umpire felt that the lifted ball there wasn't quite dangerous. I think although Atkins did deflect it, it was quite a distance from him as he deflected it, so the umpire deemed it wasn't dangerous in the initial lift. It was Atkins' lift that made it dangerous.
Lupa in again. Koshelenko trying to get there. Scotland have it though. And Alan Forsyth to go in a foot race and a bit of an argy-bargy with Uri Moroz. Needing some bodies in the day though, as yellow jerseys flood through. Alan Forsyth did really well to try and break out of that, just ball run away from him.
Yeah, he did really well there, Alan Forsyth. Got the ball in a strong position, but ran out of a bit of steam at the end there, maybe needed a little bit more help.
Nine and a half minutes left in the quarter. It stands, results not the best for either side. Scotland would go through, but they would be second place. Morton in though! And what a chance.
Yeah, ball's come back to David Forsyth. Another one who can play the ball with a great amount of pace. Just played it into Lee Morton. Nice deflection, and I think it's Ben Cosgrove there, just trying to get in the end of it, and he just needed a little touch there, and he would have got the equaliser. Brave play by Cosgrove, but he just needed to get the touch. But Scotland trying to, or certainly getting more and more opportunities in the Ukrainian half.
Paziuk went long. Cut out though before it got to Martin Polachenko.
Already mentioned it, but important that Scotland keep things nice and tight at the back. If Ukraine were to score a second goal now, then it would really give them a big boost.
One for Honor Farouk. Bit of a dart around. Twist and a turn. Kalinchuk. But alright, Scotland's way. To relief.
Again, quite similar to the actual goal. Ukraine have picked the ball up on their left hand side and they managed to work the ball into the D. Quite cheaply, so Scotland needs to be careful of that in the closing stages.
Scotland attacking thought. Grasic, good work. Penalty corner.
Very experienced player there from Chris Grasic. Cammy Fraser driving at the D, picks out Grasic on the baseline. He just waits, and you know the tackle was always going to come, and he just waited for it to hit his stick. Good chances for Scotland, although the routines so far haven't been fairly effective.
So Gavin Byers heading across. Byers to inject this. Could be Marshall to Blatter, but the keeper saves, and now this could be danger, but that is cut out by McIntyre. Stolen the pass, Koshelenko, but umpire's whistle goes.
Yeah, that could have been costly for Scotland there. Ukraine nearly getting the break there, but McIntyre again reading it well and just stepping in to take the interception.
Slip though from McIntyre. Ollie Polashuk, the Ukraine goal scorer. Bit of a running race on. Kalinchuk winning it. That was a touch rude.
Yeah, interesting. Unfortunately, not allowed.
Long from Fraser. Too long.
I think we've said it a few times, but Scotland just need to relax. You know, there are just under 7 minutes left. That is an enormous amount of time in a game of hockey. As we saw yesterday, on Monday in the Wales-Switzerland game, you can score 3 or 4 goals quite quickly, so no need to panic yet.
Both sides, you could say, for that. Of course, Bain looking for goals. Scotland won would be fine. What a pirouette from Bain. Heart on his sleeve as per.
Yeah, he's looking a little bit frustrated there.
Grabner for McIntyre. Morton in space. David Forsyth. Ricocheting through. Morton can't collect. Ukraine do, though, with Dmitry Lupa.
Just a little bit hopeful there from Forsyth.
Diachenko, Fraser in the duel. There's Scotland's ball, and here's Grasic. Kenny Bain. That's not really what was intended, but it's back here for Chris Grasic. And it's a penalty corner for Scotland. Good work from Mr. 100, Chris Grasic.
Again, Grasic just using all his experience there. He's very adept at this. He just waits and waits, quite comfortable, holding on to the ball. And the Ukrainian defender there just coming in with his arm on his back, so umpires really get no choice there but to award a penalty corner. Be interesting to see what Scotland do from here. Off the top of the D, they've been a little bit ineffective. You know, goalkeepers been covering most of the shots, so it'll be interesting to see if they're an option here.
McIntyre to inject. Marshall and Bain positioned. Kenny Bain, protest, and it's a stroke. 5.5 minutes left, penalty stroke for Scotland. This may well just count out the Ukrainians from any kind of hope.
Yeah, good injection from McIntyre. Good flick from Kenny Bain there. He's going bottom left. Man in the line. He's trying to do his job. He's trying to get that away with the stick, but unfortunately he's missed it. And if it hits you, your body on the line, then again the umpire has absolutely no choice but to award a penalty stroke. As you say, this could really kill the game off.
Alan Forsyth then to take. Semi-finals, here they come, and a goal which takes them back to the top of the table, and a draw will be enough to do so.
Very experienced player, Alan Forsyth. I don't think there was ever any doubt he was going to put that in the goal. Nice and relaxed, nice and easy, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and as you say, that looks like Scotland, hopefully from their point of view, topping the group now.
Player that scored a hat-trick against Portugal, and a crucial little penalty stroke. It's certainly not been Scotland's best performance of the week so far, or in recent times some of the great performances they had at World League, but a gritty display. They've got a bit of luck in the stroke and they've scored it, and importantly as well, any Ukraine threat is all but gone, but puts them back top. I don't know if there's too much difference in terms of an easier semi-final, but it will be playing, by the looks of it, the Russian side.
I think even from a mindset point of view, in terms of their confidence, it's much easier to go into that semi-final on a positive note than on a defeat. I think they would admit this week they've maybe not played their best hockey, but it's certainly been effective in getting the results, and in a tournament of this magnitude and what's at stake at the end of it, then that's the all important thing, is to get the result at the end of the day.
It goes to Diachenko. Still stays with the Ukrainians. Yazinski.
You can see the difference in the body language of the players of both sides now. Scotland very much on the up. There's a little bit more of a zip in their movement, whereas Ukraine looking a little bit deflated.
Well, Ukraine need to harness this. This will be a good result, nevertheless, and harness it for the games they've got, the crossover games, which is for them to avoid relegation from the second tier. And there is big games to come, with the likes of Czech Republic in there, obviously Portugal and Switzerland. One or two would say, well, Portugal should probably go down with being the lowest ranked side, but you never know with the goals that they can score. Switzerland haven't really shown their potential yet, and they can score goals, but may well be in trouble a little bit with their influential scorer Jan Hudel limping off earlier today in their game.
Yeah, there'll be just as much pressure in those games as there are on the promotion games. For a lot of teams to be at this level is where they need to be, whether it be in terms of funding or just their aspirations. But there'll be no easy games come Friday for either of the teams.
Final 3 minutes. A slow burner in the first two quarters, but when Ukraine scored through Ollie Polishuk, it became a little bit more tense for the home fans, but Ukraine had a bit of a belief that they could go and score a couple more, give them a chance of getting through, and at that point Scotland will be finishing second, and it was 1-0, but then that penalty stroke goal from Alan Forsyth has settled nerves and has deflated the Ukrainian side. And here's Kenny Bain. Scotland look to try and finish with a flourish with another goal. Here's Jamie Wong in the sunlight, penalty corner. Scotland in a race to try and win this game now.
And I think you can see the difference from the goal there. It's a bit more patient build up from Scotland. They've waited for the opportunity. Jamie Wong's going down the left hand side and just rolled the ball off the Ukrainian foot for a penalty corner. I think the difficulty for Ukraine here is Scotland having won a penalty from the previous opportunity. They'll be under a little bit more pressure. Certainly Kenny Bain looking like he fancies it again.
Different routine with Duncan Riddle to inject. Alan Forsyth there, as is Bain. Bit quick there. And it's going to be they're going to have to change up now, Riddle. Because he went and broke and went for it before the umpire blew his whistle, so it will be back. It goes to McIntyre.
Yeah, the umpire there deciding that Riddle had gone before he blew his whistle. The defensive team are obviously looking for a trigger from the injector, so maybe trying to put him off.
So it's Alan Forsyth, and that may win it! And what a turnaround, Alan Forsyth, the hero, late on for Scotland. It will be 3 wins out of 3 as it stands, as it looks like it will be now. It has completely deflated the Ukrainians.
Well, a bit of an old school routine here from Alan Forsyth. You don't see this much in international hockey. Ball stopped, he's taking it in and he's going for an old-fashioned hit. And again, the man on the line, I don't think it is the same player. However, he should do better there. He should do better. That's what he's there to stop that ball going in the goal, and it's gone under his stick. I think maybe caught the Ukrainian team by surprise there.
Yeah, ricocheted off Ollie Polishuk, the goal scorer for Ukraine. Couldn't keep it out. Oh, you talked about before the Switzerland game the other day about the goals that came flooding in against Wales, and well, not quite a flood of goals, but Scotland have switched it around. Just the drop in intensity from Ukraine after them conceding the first goal, and now they're really going for it. Parks trying to steal it back. Parks, it's just juggled up off his arm, I think, over his leg, and it will come back for Ukraine in the final couple of minutes here. It's lobbed up long, and Ukraine cannot get through now. Kovachenko will try and get it across. Ukraine trying to equalise the game again, but Schwitz losing out to Jamie Wong with good strength, although gives it away to Moroz. A bit loose and open.
Yeah, a little bit of a stramash there, but McIntyre just using his composure and getting on the ball. I think there's a lot of belief about the Scotland squad at this tournament, and I think this game has shown it again. You know, they may not have played as effectively as they'd like to, but it looks like they're going to get a positive result.
Yeah, at times they have been a bit gritty, but that's what maybe was required. And some of the star players, likes of Bain, Alan Forsyth, they've been scoring goals. Lee Morton as well, which shows that that shows you a side that have been playing so well as they have done in the last 12 months.
I think Alan Forsyth especially has really developed into, I mean, you can almost say a world-class goal scorer, because he's been scoring goals for Great Britain as well when he's played for them.
Lee Morton stealing that one back from Jasinski into the final minute. Kenny Bain to the left here, Alan Forsyth in the middle of the day. Bain back to Morton. Just taking his time, he knows the score.
Yeah, no hurry now for Scotland. Quite happy just to keep the ball.
Yeah, the stick there, the challenge on Koshelenko. Jamie Wong down the far channel for Atkins. The countdown is on in the crowd. Game over. Scotland are through to the semi-finals as the pool winners, and that sets up a tantalising semi-final on Friday against Russia. For Ukraine, they gave themselves a bit of hope through Ollie Polishuk, but they need 2 more goals at least to have a chance, half a chance to get through. But Alan Forsyth turned the game around with a penalty stroke goal which deflated the Ukrainians, and then got himself another at the end through a penalty corner in the final 90 seconds or so. And that means that Scotland are through as group winners, and they will take on Russia, with France runners up. They will take on the winners of Pool B, which are Wales. Ukraine and Portugal, 3rd and 4th in this pool. Czech Republic and Switzerland in Pool B, they will face each other for the relegation spots. Well, let's look at the best of the goals, well, the best of the action in all 3 of the goals in the game. And Ukraine surprised and stunned the home crowd.
Yeah, as we said at the time, they've just broken into the D there. Players are free, they're taking their opportunity, and it certainly did give them a lot of confidence going into the rest of the game. And I think Scotland maybe at the time were a little bit panicky. We said at the time as well, they just need to relax and stay focused, and know that if they kept playing the way they can play, then they would take their chances. Again, the penalty from Mr. Forsyth. He was never going to miss that, I don't think. Very confident in that position. Very effective in taking penalty strokes. And the final goal. Good injection from McIntyre. And Forsyth just taking it in himself. Maybe caught the Ukrainian team by surprise, and with a straight strike put the ball in the bottom corner. Again, I think you can tell from the goalkeeper here he was expecting a drag flick. He's gone quite high to try and cut off the angle, and he's just been beaten for pace.
So that's the goals. So as I say, that's the permutations. There's all the score lines from today. Russia and Wales through. Wales top in the group. They will take on France. Scotland are through. They are going to be taking on Russia, and in the middle there you see France beating Portugal, confirming their second place. Czech Republic beating Switzerland in the end for the Czech Republic. That will be third place. So on Friday, we've talked about the games deciding the qualification Friday, Saturday, but the other side of the draw, the side trying to save themselves, the sides trying to save themselves, I should say. So the fourth place team in Pool A, which is Portugal, then plays Switzerland, fourth in Pool B, and then it's going to be Ukraine against the Czech Republic, and then on the Saturday, third in Pool A plays fourth in Pool B, Ukraine and Switzerland, and then Czech Republic against Portugal in the crossovers. So plenty to play for, and it should be rather good stuff from the sides. Scotland then with the Pool A winners mantle, and they will be last on Friday. So exciting times coming. We talked plenty of times throughout the week so far. Been some crucial points this week, but the Friday, the final's great. If you can get to the final, it's great. There's the glory of winning the second tier, but the semi-finals are probably more important for those in the top four, because the winners are guaranteed promotion.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's if you ask any team, that's why they're here. They want to get promoted to the top tier of European hockey. So they'll be going all out to win that game on Friday, and effectively that is the final for all the teams. The final itself will take care of itself, and you've got an opportunity to go out and at the end of the day you'll end up with a gold or a silver medal. But certainly none of the four teams that are playing on Friday in the semi-finals want to end up with a bronze, and I know that Scotland, having been there before, are very determined to make sure that this time in front of the home crowd that they are successful in gaining promotion.
Yeah, Scotland, the last time they were in the top tier was in 2005. They were relegated after the campaign there in the tournament held in Leipzig. Just final thoughts before we wrap up. Obviously now the end of the group phase, some great performances from the side. Scotland have played well. France had a bad start, but they've got going now. We've got four sides in the top tier, got plenty of characters and plenty to play for the relegations. What's been your pick of the group stages so far?
Having watched the Wales game against Switzerland, I was very impressed with their all-round performance. And I think them against France will be a very tight game on Friday. But I think in front of the home crowd, it's great to see Scotland top in their group. As I've said a few times, maybe not playing as effectively as they'd like to do, but it's great to see them getting the results, building the momentum, and going into that semi-final with a lot of confidence, and with the players they've got, particularly attacking players. Forsyth is in great form and is always going to score goals. Bain and Morton, Grasic, and players like McIntyre and Bremner in the midfield. They've got a great opportunity here to get through to the division.
Mark, great to get your thoughts. We'll see you on Friday for the action. No, I think we'll actually Saturday. Actually, I think, isn't it Saturday? We'll see
I
you.
think so. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, possibly. We'll see you around anyway. Of course, enjoying all the hockey action. Great to get your thoughts here. And Friday, Saturday is the games. Obviously now the knockout phase and the crossovers, whatever side of the draw you're on. Games start from 9:30. Get along if you can, if you're local. If not, do enjoy the coverage. But we're going to leave things here. It's been a great day of action, but we now know the semi-finalists in the top four. Scotland, they will be playing Russia. Wales will be taking on France. From all of us here in Glasgow, a very good evening to you.